Nowadays, in cross-border e-commerce transactions, more and more companies are shipping goods through overseas warehouses, and the state has also introduced policies to support the development of overseas warehouses. So, what is an overseas warehouse? How does it help businesses? In this lesson, we will learn about overseas warehouses. First of all, explain what an overseas position is. Overseas warehouses, also known as overseas warehousing, are warehouses established overseas, as the name suggests. It means that cross-border e-commerce companies build or lease warehouses overseas and then export goods in bulk to overseas warehouses in accordance with general trade methods. When buyers have needs, sellers can respond quickly as soon as possible and directly from local warehouses in a timely manner. Sort, package, and deliver. Overseas warehouses are a good medicine to solve the pain points of cross-border e-commerce logistics. Under the traditional operation method, after a buyer places an order, the seller uses logistics express delivery to send the goods abroad. The cost is high, the logistics cycle is long, and the return is troublesome. There may also be difficulties, such as customs seizure and express rejection. Predictable circumstances seriously affect the customer's shopping experience and impose considerable restrictions on sellers expanding product sales. With the help of overseas warehouses, cross-border e-commerce sellers can ship goods from the buyer's country, greatly shortening order delivery time, improving user experience, and increasing sales. The emergence of overseas warehouses conforms to the development trend of cross-border e-commerce. At present, many cross-border e-commerce companies and third-party logistics and warehousing companies in my country have begun to adopt or provide overseas warehouse services. Below, let's take a look at the characteristics of overseas warehouses. Overseas warehouses can be widely adopted by enterprises and must have their own unique advantages. So, what are their advantages reflected in? Reduce logistics costs. Most orders for cross-border e-commerce transactions are relatively small in quantity and relatively low in amount. However, the order frequency is relatively high and generally has the characteristics of long distances, small quantities, and large batches. With overseas warehouses, these scattered goods can be assembled into full boxes and transported together. After the goods arrive, the overseas warehouses will then split the full boxes of goods. At the same time, it can also provide assembly services to concentrated customers in the region according to customers' order requirements and carry out full container transportation or distribution, thereby improving transportation efficiency and reducing logistics costs. Improve logistics timeliness. Shipping from overseas warehouses can save time for customs declaration and customs clearance. Compared with the seller's usual shipping method, if the goods are shipped locally, customers can receive the goods in 1-3 days, which greatly shortens the transportation time and improves the timeliness of logistics. Increase product exposure. Storing products in overseas warehouses is equivalent to shipping products locally, which helps improve the search ranking of products and thereby increase the exposure of products and sellers' stores. When customers choose to shop, they generally give priority to local delivery, which can greatly shorten the arrival time. This is a unique advantage of sellers with overseas warehouses, which helps to increase the exposure of products and increase store sales. Improve customer satisfaction. Not all products received can satisfy customers. During this, there may be situations such as damage, short packaging, and wrong delivery. At this time, customers may request replacement or reissuance. These conditions can be adjusted in overseas warehouses, greatly improving the timeliness of logistics, and on a certain level, it can not only regain the favor of buyers, but also save sellers transportation costs and reduce losses. It is conducive to opening up the market. Overseas warehouses bring a better shopping experience to buyers and encourage more buyers to buy twice. If sellers pay attention to word of mouth marketing, their products will not only be recognized by local buyers, but also help sellers accumulate more resources to expand the market and expand product sales areas and sales scope. Of course, overseas positions are also a double-edged sword, with advantages and shortcomings of their own. First, sellers cannot manage overseas warehouses like they manage their own warehouses. If the goods are sent to overseas warehouses, the seller will not be able to access the goods and may not feel at ease. Secondly, inventory pressure is high, warehousing costs are high, and capital turnover is inconvenient. As long as the product is stored in an overseas warehouse for 1 day, the seller will have to pay the storage fee for 1 day. If the sales situation is not ideal, and the goods are pressed in the warehouse, the storage cost will continue to increase, causing inconvenience to the seller in capital turnover. Finally, let's take a look at what products are suitable for overseas warehouses. 1. Products with large size and weight. These products are sent in small bags or special lines, and the specifications will be limited. The cost of using international express delivery is very expensive. Using overseas warehouses can break through the product specification limitations and reduce logistics costs. R. Products with high unit price and gross profit. High-quality overseas warehouse service providers can control the damage rate and lost part rate to a very low level and reduce the accidental loss rate of high-value goods. 7. Products with high cargo turnover rate. This is what we usually call a best-selling product. For best-selling products, sellers can process orders more quickly and withdraw funds through overseas warehouses, while for slow-moving products, corresponding storage expenses will also be incurred while occupying funds. In contrast, goods with high turnover rates are more suitable for overseas warehouses. Based on the above, we found that lamps, outdoor products, household items, maternal and child products, etc., are more suitable for overseas warehouses. The above is a basic introduction to overseas warehouses. Thank you all.